Hi, to my replay viewers. Sorry we got cut off the first time. I'm Angie K. Hey, Connor88, if it's your first time joining my scope. Mr. Mike, hey, Pizza Viz, hey, Mr. Mike. Hey, you guys, thanks for joining my scope. I'm Angie K. Hey, Michael Smith. Thanks for joining my scope. I'm Angie K. I'm a weight loss and wellness expert, and I'm going to talk a little bit about opposition and how you can turn it into an opportunity for you. And so if you think this scope might be valuable, this will be a motivational scope. So if you think it might be valuable for someone that you know, go ahead and slide up or over and share it with your followers and share it on Twitter. I'm Angie K. Hey, Sandoval, thanks for joining me again. I'm sorry we got cut off before. I'm not sure about what happened. I'm not sure. So for those of you who missed the first portion of the scope, I'm just going to start over really quick. My name is Angie K. I'm a weight loss and wellness expert. I help busy women find their own version of sexy and revel in it for the rest of their lives. Always Purpose 65. Thank you for joining me. And so I'm going to share a little bit about my personal experience, which I never, ever air. I know it's me. Yes, I'm so grateful to be back too. I'm going to share a little bit about some personal business with me, some things that are going on, and how I'm turning the oppositions into, well, not even me, how the universe is turning these oppositions into amazing opportunities for me. And so, for those of you who weren't on the scope earlier, I was explaining how my spouse and I just purchased a home. And about 4 or 5 days after purchasing our dream home, we went to try to move our things in. And the home had been completely ransacked, vandalized. And, you know, the vandals left certain things that they were coming back to get. So it actually looked like they had been working on taking things out of the home for days. And so some of the things that they did were, in order to pull the faucet fixtures out, they ended up cutting the pipes in our home and flooding the entire estate, which this is a 3-level estate that's probably about 25,000, not 25,000, but 10,000 square feet, between 8 and 10,000 square feet. So it's a pretty large house. And they actually ended up flooding the entire house, the basement, the main level. Thank you for joining me, MB Tempesco. Sorry if I botched up your name, but I'm sorry about that. But also what they did, you know, after ripping out the faucet fixtures, one other thing that they did was they pulled all the appliances apart. No, this is not my first time buying a home. I've done real estate investing. I actually bought this estate from a very well-known investor in my area. This was his personal estate. So there were a lot of upgrades done. He went through and gutted the entire estate and did a bunch of different things. So he put in skylights. He put in lighting inside the wall, recessed lighting on the perimeter of the home, outside the home. There were a lot of different things that he placed in this house. So now the house is currently unlivable. And we are pretty much stuck kind of in our lease, which we've had issues with the house that we're living in now. And that's really what prompted us to buy. So why am I telling you this? Before we found this house, we actually sat down together and made what I call a dream list of everything that we wanted in our house. Now, what do we do when we make these lists? You know, we know that we want to buy. We know that we're in the market. We go out and we look, and what do? We find the thing that's closest to what is on our list. It makes sense to do that, right? It makes sense to do that. So some of the things that we wanted were missing. They just weren't in the house. But what is happening now is, and I really want you to understand this. I don't want you to miss this. One of the things that is happening now is that because of this vandalism, we are now getting every single thing that was missing from our list. And so, you know, at first it was very, yes, it was very, very devastating. And if this is something that you think someone else needs to hear, definitely share this scope, because I want people to be sure that when you write something down, when you ask for something, the universe conspires to bring it to you. When you think it, when you write it, when you say it, it becomes your reality, whether good or bad. You created it, you invited it. Whether you want to believe that or not, it is not a belief. It has been happening since the beginning of time. And the day that you're able to understand it and tap into it will be the day that you're able to make it work for you on in every area of your life, on every level. And if this is something that you want to hear, I know your time is valuable. Tap hearts. And if it's not, then you can, find another powerful scope to listen to. Hey, Jackie Perkovic. Thanks for joining us. I was just filling everybody in on how I purchased an estate, and it was completely flooded and dismantled and made unlivable. Mold was already starting to grow in the house by the time we got there, by some vandals, and it was our dream home, but there were some things that were missing. And so when we finally did mitigation and they came out to clean up the mess and assess everything, they found that not only were the floors all damaged, they actually found that the walls were wet. Over halfway up, the walls were completely wet. So all of the walls, all of the columns, the flooring, everything in the house has to be ripped out and rebuilt. And so what is happening now is that everything that we were missing in this house from our dream list, we're actually going to have. And so every day we're getting a text message about, hey, unfortunately, we've got to pull all of this stuff out of your master bath. Are you ready to choose the tub you want? Are you ready to lay out a different vanity? Are you ready to choose your flooring? Are you ready to choose the colors you want? And so it really is turning into that real dream home that we want. Now, we actually sat down and got a very, very clear picture of the type of life we wanted to live and the house that we wanted to live in. And obviously we found something as close as possible to that. But so now I want you to understand that when you ask for something, be ready to get it. And be ready to, even if you don't understand the how, even if you don't understand how it's going to come to you, how it's going to come together. Like when I first saw my house destroyed like this, I was completely devastated. I mean, and I'm one of those people, I'm highly motivating. I'm one of those people that's like, come on, 10 more reps. Come on, 5 more reps. I really dig deep and I stay motivated. This is one of the things that really took the wind out of my sails. And, but once everything started coming together, yes, once everything started coming together, I really, really understood that the law of attraction is something that is very, very real. And I took stock over every single thing that I have written, every single thing that I have always wanted. And so if you feel like there's someone out there who might need to hear this scope, share it. Make sure that they're able to be encouraged too, because we live in a time where more and more people are starting to wake up. More and more people are having what is called their awakening. More and more people are tapping into not just the law of attraction, not just the secret, the power, and things like that. They're actually tapping into the moon cycles. They're tapping into energetics. They're trying to understand more about where they were before they came to this human experience, and understanding what is blocking them from becoming everything that they're supposed to be during this human experience. And so it's very important that we understand the power that we came here with. And it's not just about, and as far as the house, that's something that's easy. But think about your finances. Think about your influence over the world. Think about all the things that you could actually be having or actually be understanding and using those things to actually change the world. Like, think about that. Think about how you can set these things in motion. A couple of the books that I've been reading besides The Secret, I read The Secret some time ago, but once I hired a business coach, she gave me a list of books and told me to read them in a certain order. And so one of my main books was, one of them was The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And it's actually a very, very profound book. It's all about how people have witnessed the law of attraction in their lives and how they actually help have other people hold space for them to create and get over fears and different things like that. And I would have to say that that's one of my top books. Another one is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. If you are not familiar with Wallace D. Wattles and his work, you are in for a treat when you download The Science of Getting Rich. It is one of the best books on the market, and I think I probably paid 99 cents for it. And this is the thing though. Like, these books that are life-changing, you can either get them free or they're only 99 cents. But, and this isn't just about books. This is really about how you are using the information in the books to leverage to create the life that you want. There is no shortage of anything. There is no shortage of anything, whether it's finances, whether it's homes of your dream, whether it's the life you want for your children. There is no shortage. And the minute you think there is a shortage, you check anything that you've already had coming to you, you cause those things to start going away. So you really want to make sure that you stay in that positive frame of mind and constantly bringing things to you. It really took my spouse, and I'm grateful for him. It really took my spouse, telling me this is law of attraction at its finest. When I'm looking at my floorboards all buckled up, when I'm looking at mold already growing in my master bedroom on my carpet, when I'm looking at all the insulation in the roof of my basement completely split open and the electricity is not even working anymore. When I'm looking at my house completely destroyed, it was my spouse that said, listen, you want certain things here, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I felt like we could move in and kind of make those changes. He was like, no, you don't halfway want something. The universe doesn't conspire to halfway bring you something. It conspires to bring you everything in finite detail that you asked for. And so it's one. So why was it torn up? I don't know. I didn't ask for that, but I did ask for certain things in my home. And this house had most of those things, but it was not exactly the way I wanted it. And now I'm getting messages from the contractor saying, it looks like we are going to be able to do that. And that feels good to me. It feels good being able to know that I'm going to get exactly what I've wanted. I'm going to get exactly what I've drawn to me. Now, I've also laid out some plans for my business to end this year with a bang. There are some things I want to do. Like I want to set up a lab in my home to homeschool my son. There are some things that I want to do. And people might call me crazy. I've worked in private practice medicine for over 15 years now. And one of the things I know to be true is that it no longer feels good to me. And so the things that do feel good to me, I've started to pursue those things. And I'm challenging you to do the same. What feels good to you? What does your life look like when everything is the way it's supposed to be? What does your life look like when everything is the way it's supposed to be? Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Thank you so much for the hearts. I'm hoping that this is encouraging somebody because I've been devastated before. I've been there. This isn't the first time. It may not be the last time, but I'm certainly not wishing it on myself. I definitely am one of those people, like I said, that I stay motivated all the time, but this just knocked the wind right out of me. But having the amazing spouse that I have, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that it was him that said, hey, this is what you asked for. You might not have, the how is not up to you. The how is never up to you. It is your job to get a clear picture of what you want. That is your job. Once you get a clear picture of what you want and you write it down in detail, the universe conspires to bring it to you, in such a way that when you get it, you will know it. Thank you so much. Thank you for following me. I usually scope about health and I teach from a whiteboard and I give tips for women to be able to walk away and be able to use those tips at the very next moment in their life when it comes to like their wellness and their weight loss. I don't teach products, gimmicks, or anything that they're going to have to stay on or order for the rest of their lives. I teach them how to find what actually works for their body and find their own version of sexy and be themselves. That is what I do as my business. And thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for listening. I just want to let you guys know to be encouraged tonight. Be encouraged. Take heart. Get clear about what it is that you want in life. Hey, Dr. B, thanks for joining me. Thanks you so much for the hearts. Just be encouraged tonight. Just because you see some form of opposition, look at the opportunity in it. Try to see the platinum lining, not just the silver one, but really try to see the platinum lining in it. And surround yourself with people that are quickly able to point out that platinum lining as well. Dr. B, I know you just joining us, but just to recap, I was talking about the fact that I just purchased a private estate, and by the time I went to move in it, it was completely destroyed. All of my appliances were dismantled. My pipes were cut. A lot of the things in the house were stolen out of the house, and this was an estate that was probably 10,000 square feet. And so, I got really, really clear on the type of house that I wanted. And right now it's unlivable. All the walls had to be taken down. The floors had to be ripped up. All the things had to be redone. But I'm learning that with each step of the rebuild, I'm getting exactly what I wanted in my house now. So all of the things that weren't there, like stairs that lead to my bed, or a clawfoot tub, or, hardwood flooring throughout the entire estate, all of these things are now being added to the estate, or having the floors redone. Things that I was going to have to pay for now are mandatory for an insurance company to pay for. So I get to pick out all my paint, colors, floors, all that stuff now. And that's one of the things that I asked for a long time ago. And yeah, it's one of the things I asked for a long time ago. But, I was talking about, being devastated by it. But my spouse was the one that was like, this is what you asked for. The how is not up to you. The universe is conspiring to bring you what you want. So be certain about what it is that you want. And I've gotten very, very clear about my business, my message, my brand, what I want to do, where I want to go. And once I got clear on that, that was the easy part. A lot of opportunities opened up for me. When I decided to just cut back on work and really live and do things based on how I feel. So yeah, I look to have, 4 different types of feelings. And if something doesn't feel that way for me, like my 4 desired feelings are blissful, free, aligned, and grounded. If something does not feel this way to me, I don't do it, period. No questions asked. I do not do it. And this makes every decision for me very, very simple. Very, very simple. From the people that I hang around to the types of environments or things that I travel and go to. If it doesn't if I don't get these 4 feelings, then it's a no-go for me. And that's what makes everything so easy for me now. So yeah, thank you guys for joining my scope. And I'm going to head out, but be encouraged, blissful, free, grounded, and aligned. And I added another one. I added clarity. If I don't have specific mental clarity around something, but those are my 4 desired feelings. I sat with myself for some time and decided that I was going to come up with these 4 feelings. Yes. So blissful, free, aligned, clear. Yeah. So happy is not one of my feelings, but I feel like if I'm aligned and I'm free, honey, I'm happy. And I started to cut back on different things that I thought gave me these feelings. Like I thought needing 6 figures or having a 6-figure salary, I thought, well, maybe I ought to just keep working because I really do make great money. Yeah, but my business can never grow. And all of the women that really need the help, they will never get it from me. I will never be able to reach the women that are waiting on me if I'm working 24/7, on call 24 hours and all this kind of stuff. So I cut back. I did a budget assessment and I said, Angie, you don't need all this. Cut back. And I cut back, and I have a child that's 8 years old. He's happier now. He's like, can you come have lunch with me at school? And it's just a whole new world opened up for me. Not only that, the opportunities that I'm able to do with my business, being on television, being on radios, they came all out of the woodworks. So I have no problems with making sure that things feel good for me. Because when I started to do that, the universe just opened up and poured out opportunities. So and we're blessed because of it. So I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. And besides all that, I'm off to the Bahamas while my house is being fixed. So cheers. I hope you have a great night, ladies. Bye.